Hello, welcome to Scriptwave. In our previous lectures, we have discussed about an introduction for functions. In today's lecture, we'll be looking at the function arguments and its types. Without any further ado, let's see a quick agenda for this lecture. So here, first, we'll start with the types of function arguments. Then we'll see default arguments. Then we'll understand what are called as keyword arguments. Then we'll see the positional arguments. Then finally, we'll see the code execution for all the topics discussed above. Without any further ado, let's start with the types of function arguments. So we have three types of arguments, starting with the default argument, then we have the keyword argument, then we have the positional argument. Let's try to discuss one by one in detail, and we'll start with the default arguments in Python functions. The default argument use a predefined value when no value is passed during the function call. So here we have a quick example to understand the default argument. First thing we need to underline is 2 points, the predefined value, and it will be passed when only if there is no value passed to the functions. So here we have the clear example. We have def my function and we are just printing x value and y value. And here while we are calling the function, we are giving only one input, and by default it will be picked as x argument and y value will be 50. What if I give my fun of 10 comma 30? In that case, it will be given as x and this will be by default given as 30. Here we are not giving 50 because we have an argument. If we leave it empty and give only 10, in that case we provide or give the value of y as 30 as an argument. So this is the story of default argument. Let's move forward and understand the next arguments. So the second type of argument is the keyword argument. Here we pass the values using the parameters names. So argument order doesn't matter. So here we have first name and last name, and while we are printing we are saying first name comma last name to make sure the first name is given at the first and the last name is given at the last. We give the parameter name and define the arguments. In this case, you can do the other way around as well. You can say L name, that is last name practice, and F name as geeks. So this is the keyword argument. Let's move forward with the next argument. The positional arguments. Here, the values are assigned to parameters based on their order in a function call. So here we have the common scenario. This is not something we need to particularly discuss because this is something we do generally. Based on the same sequence, we try to add the parameters or arguments as well. So here the first one will always be a name and the second one will always be. So let's try to work on PyCharm to understand everything end to end. So let's move to PyCharm. So I have created a new file, Python arguments. Now let's try to write the functions. I'll just say def add 10 comma b is equal to 50. So let's say the variable, we cannot add the values, my bad. So we're just giving the output as print sum, where the output will be a plus b. You can return as well, but I'm just using the flexibility of having. Let's quickly call the function add 10 comma 10 and I'll say add 20. So let's save it and understand what's the output. So let's print it. My bad, let me just select the current file. Now I'll execute this one. So we got an error. So let's see what's the error. So we have an extra space that's not allowed. So let's quickly save it and run this one. So we got 20 and 70. 20 when we pass the value 10 comma 10 and 70 when we pass the value 50. So this is the positional argument, or we can say default argument. So this picks the default value. Now let's see the keyword argument. So let's start with the and I'll just quickly comment this out. Same process. And now I'll just quickly move ahead and say def a add. Let's do the same function. So I'll just copy the same function so that we can save some time. And now instead of adding the value with the default, I'll just say A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10, B is equal to 50, 20, A is equal to 50. Save it. We should get the same output 20 and 70 because A value is 10, B value is 10. And here B value is 20 and A value is 50. This is the keyword augment and the position arguments are common. So we can just say, so let's quickly start writing a quick function. Let's say not add, let's say test is a function name and I'm just printing A and print B. So here I am printing value of A, value of B, and then I'm calling the function test 1 comma 2 and test 2 comma 1. So based on the position, your values will update. So for the first one, A value is 1, B value is 2. And for the second one, A value is 2 and B value is 1. So this is the short story about the arguments, and this is how you can use the arguments based on your requirement. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you so much. Have a great day.